Hello everyone, welcome to today's new video. Ultimately this is going to be a rather short video, but direct to the point. It's going to be another product review, and well, in this case it's more of an app review than anything else. Now, Cashapp is a particular app that you download onto your phone, and it's something trustworthy, and to me personally I've had nothing but good positive experiences to say regarding it. And regarding the app, it's actually quite simple, a lot easier than you might like to believe. All you do is download it. You, just like anything else, social media related or anything that you join for a website, you sign up with a username and password. I've been paying bills with it. I've actually just purchased a few things online with it, so this thing is absolute awesome. Alright everyone, so for obvious privacy reasons, I decided to basically only show the bottom portion of the card. It is in fact a Visa debit card. It has a chip for security and protection, just like any other ordinary debit or credit card. To keep in mind, these emojis that you see on here are completely customizable. You are able to choose from variations of so many different emojis. You could choose to make them, the font of them, either smaller or larger. And this is absolutely great. So each one of these symbolizes something entirely different into my life. Obviously, as you could as you can see here, the all-seeing eye, which represents the Illuminati secret societies, the societies that are veiled in mysteries. And I have chosen this due to my principles and practices of science and alchemy, of magic and chaos. And I find chaos inside of it to represent the light and darkness and light. And ultimately, there is a sacred bond that I share between myself and a relationship of certain societies, at least the societies that exist and manifest within myself. And there are infinite worlds inside of each of us, should we decide to believe in that or not. And there are gateways that we are able to open and unveil within each of ourselves. And life is ultimately what we make of it. And there are gateways and pathways that are constantly within ourselves. Should we decide to open them up for the greater good or the complete demise of ourselves. And with that, I stand against injustices and corruption, as well as the vanity and apathy of human nature of people. And ultimately, it represents the embodiment of why I am so passionate of creating these videos, of sharing my life. To be placed upon this particular pedestal, to be judged by the world, but honestly, I don't mind that, because my entire life I've grown up in an establishment of the world, in a modern society where it's completely not acceptable to be anything or anyone but yourself. So basically, a zombified world that revolves around this catastrophe of lifeless zombies and mindless zombies that just run rampant around. And we have this vapid, stupid decadence within our human condition. But anyway, so getting back to each one, what I decided, if it ever focuses, there it is. So my cup of coffee, the little coffee symbol, represents my consciousness of health. And I drink coffee and tea a couple times a day to stimulate overall, health and wellness and consciousness and well-being. Sorry, I just kind of blacked out there for a moment. Of course, you can't forget about your sacred companionship and your relationship that you hold dear to those that you love in your life, that you adore with all of your heart. And in this case, it has a dog symbol. I'm not sure if you can see it, it's kind of quite blurry. But a dog symbol to represent, obviously, Fig, our, like, rescued pit bull, and my existence would be voided and empty without her in my life. And I've always been an animal lover. I've always loved dogs so much, and they are absolute sacred, wonderful creatures to me. I would give anything to continue to preserve my conservationism of nature and of animals. And of course, you have the skull. Now basically the skull represents death, and its entirety, that we cannot postpone the inevitable. We cannot postpone what is awaiting for us. And death is a beginning to, not an end necessarily. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Death represents the embodiment of new beginnings, and you reverse those chaos into balance and new beginnings, and a new journey begins ultimately. So Cashapp, to me personally, I absolutely enjoy it, and Cashapp is definitely something legitimate, authentic, real, and it's absolutely trustworthy. And if I were you, I would definitely download it. Like I said, it's an app that you download on your phone, and it's free of charge to do so, and it's free of charge to enlist, to sign up for it. And trust me, I'm not getting any sponsorships by creating this video. As you know me, I'm multi-dimensional, universal. I like to create videos on all sorts of different variations of topics, and I try not to make them all the same, and it's always something different. Like every day is a new chapter towards something greater. And Cashapp, it's really great. Like I said, I've used it to pay bills with online. I've used it to purchase some things online, to share among some friends and family. But I would definitely get it if I were you. And you could actually customize your card to either have a black background or a white background. And like I said, I think it's like a minimal of 5 or 6 or 7 different emojis, depending on how the size of them that you put them into increments. Obviously, the smaller the font, the symbols of them, the more room that you're gonna have to put on a card. And honestly, I don't even remember how I heard about Cashapp. I believe one of my subscribers actually told me about it. And ultimately, the idea that I had in mind was to start more or less a GoFundMe, except with a Cashapp. That way, for those of you who decide to, if you want to contribute some finances towards my future endeavors and my projects of my videos, then you're more than welcome to. I might just start up one just for the sake of that.